Gabe is up next in Toledo, Ohio. Gabe, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken.
How are you, Gabe?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am living the dream. What's going on?
Well, this past weekend here, I was job searching on Indeed, as I often am, and I found a position for a plumber. They were looking for somebody who didn't have a lot of experience they could train, so I applied for it, but it's about an hour away. I was looking to move to this area, so I was trying to find a job before that. But I knew they weren't going to really give me much notice because of all that, so I called them today, and I got an interview tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Great.
So I don't know anything about plumbing. I took a mechanical literacy test, and I scored really well on that. But I don't really know the questions I'm going to be asked. I don't know what I'm supposed to ask. I don't know what to expect in the interview. So I'm a little nervous.
Well, and it's understandable, but I got to tell you, I love the fact that they've specifically advertised this as somebody that doesn't have any experience. They're looking for somebody that has no experience. Is that what I heard you say?
Yeah, they're looking for somebody they can train into the job, which really motivated me. So I really wanted to get my name in there, and I made a phone call, and I asked them, and she seemed a little surprised when I called. So I'm hoping that's a
Why? Why do you think she was surprised?
I don't think many people call and ask for an interview. So
100%. It's 100%.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. All your nerves need to go away. You know why? Because they're looking for someone with no experience. So that implies that you're not going to know what the technical questions are. You know, you barely know what PVC pipe is. Great, you're hired, right? I mean, that's what they're. Yeah. So I think the fact that you scored high on the mechanical literacy test is great. That's what I was going to ask you. I didn't even know that existed, that test. But that's what I talk about all the time on the show. Do you have the chops? Do you have the talent to do it? Are you good with your hands, fixing stuff, putting stuff together, solving problems with your head and hands? Let me tell you something. I'm really good at solving people problems with my head. I can't solve anything with my head and hands. I can barely use an electric screwdriver. All right? Like that's at the top of my capability. So the fact that you scored high on that should calm your nerves because you've got the ability to do this kind of work. As far as the questions to ask, I think you need to download my How to Win the Interview guide as soon as this call is over. Go to my website, kencoleman.com. It's free, and it's one of the 3 Get Hired guides. How to Win the Interview. Okay. And you read this thing. It's a PDF. It's easy to read. I'm going to prepare you on some non-plumbing type questions to ask. And listen to me. Gabe, listen, they're shocked that you even called. They're going to be really shocked when you walk in the interview, and you are going to do this, Gabe. You're going to have some of the types of questions that I give to you in this How to Win the Interview guide. I want you to have them written down on I've got a moleskin that I like to use. It could be a notebook, could be a spiral notebook that costs $2.99 from a grocery store. I don't care. But write the questions down ahead of time, and in the interview, reference the questions. Go, hey, what's the culture like here? Some of the questions I give you, what's the type of person who wins here? Do you realize that's going to blow their mind? They're not even know how to answer that at first.
That's what I'd like to do. I'd definitely like to impress them.
Well, you're going to.
I need a career change, so.
No, you're good, bro. So I'm giving you all the cheat codes. Go to my website. I'm putting you on hold right now. Go. KenColeman.com. Download the How to Win the Interview guide. It's going to prepare you. Here's what I teach in this guide, and I give you specifics. It's not a motivational pamphlet. Practical things to ask, basic things to expect to be asked, whether it's plumbing or accounting, okay? How to win the interview. But here's what I teach. For guys like Gabe, other guys and gals, listen to me. You're nervous. It's normal to be nervous. But if you relentlessly prepare, you will reflexively perform. Relentless preparation, watch this, leads to reflexive performance. It's how quarterbacks and athletes, you pick the sport. It's how they can perform under pressure because they've watched film. They know what to do under pressure. They know what the play is. They know what to expect. They've done it so many times. They're not scared anymore. Are the stakes high? Yes. Is the tension high? Yes. But does their brain slow down in that time? You bet. It's the difference between a rookie quarterback and Tom Brady. Both of them have done the 2-minute drill, but Tom's done it way many more times under pressure. But Tom has performed well because he relentlessly prepared. So what happens is when you're not prepared and you're in an interview, which is for many of you the most nerve-wracking thing you'll ever do in your life, and you're sitting there, and if you haven't prepared, all that anxiety takes over and your brain's moving 100 miles an hour and you can't even get a sentence out, as opposed to you're prepared. And you've thought through this. You know what to expect, and then you handle it. Your brain's a supercomputer. Fill it with the right stuff. It'll perform under pressure. Here's the other thing. Folks, let me just say this. I mentioned this briefly to Gabe. I want to drive this home. Folks, what's wrong with taking in a notebook and a pencil or a pen, and in your interview, you write down what they say? Well, Ken, why would I write down what they say? It just makes you look serious. Makes you look focused. You could write down Apple Jacks, bananas. I don't care what you write on paper. Write something down. It'll calm your nerves. Is that being inauthentic? No, it's a hack. Hey, here's the thing. Actually write down what they tell you. If you ask the kind of question, what kind of person wins here? That's one of my go-to questions I give you in how to win the interview. When they tell you, write it down. Here's the other thing. When it's your turn to talk and ask questions, go to your notes. I have some questions prepared for you. And you go here and you read it. Instead of trying to remember it, do you think they're going to think you're some sort of doofus? No. You look at your notes. I'm a professional speaker. I have notes when I speak. Does the audience think that I'm some sort of doofus when I look at my notes during my talk? No. They think Ken's prepared. He's got something he wants to say. Am I right in the room? Am I right out there in the lobby? So it's not going to make you look like a nervous ninny or some sort of doofus to look at your notes during an interview. I'm going to tell you what it actually makes you look like. A freaking rock star. Because most people are sitting in there and they don't have a clue what they're saying. They're like politicians when they get asked a question by the media. You ever notice that? Both sides of the aisle, by the way. Republicans, Democrats, it don't matter. It don't matter if the media is conservative or liberal. You watch them. They ask a question, they don't say anything. A bunch of words, but not say anything. That's what a lot of you people are like in your job interview. Why should we hire you? When I was a kid, I got into Boy Scouts, and so then I went into school and I had good grades. And my grandmother says that I'm a really hard worker. This is the kind of crap that comes out of people's minds. They don't know what they're saying. They're nervous. They're not prepared. They're just filling time because they're just panicking. How to win the interview, free guide, KenColeman.com. I give you all the cheat codes. But here's the deal. Have stuff prepared. Write down some answers that you think you might use. It's fine. Makes you look like you're a serious individual. So there you go.